Welcome everyone to episode 24 of this Treasure Inside Edition, and we are back this week with the management. The management, how are you doing this week?
The great return. I am doing good. I've had a couple of weeks off, so it was a nice bit of rest. So I'm excited to be back and talking about treasure.
Well, my assumption was you were off for a few weeks because you are researching about 10 new theories and you're going to have about 3 hours worth of discussion tonight, right?
Oh, absolutely. All the good stuff.
Well, last weekend was good. It's getting very hot in Arizona at the moment. I just drove home in 116-degree heat, but at least I was inside the car, not outside.
Yes, I have been tinkering with my ice machine, so at least I hope you have cold beverages awaiting you when you get home.
I do. Anyway, we got to get into it. I was going to go through some treasure hunt token solves this week, but because we had those 2 weeks where we didn't have treasure hunt token hunts, I actually have no solves this week because the current hunt that I put up last week is still running. But for those who want to check it out, there'll be last week's hunt still running, and the hunt that I put up this week will be running as well. But that doesn't stop us from needing a code for this week's hunt. So straight off the bat, the management, do you have a code for this week's hunt?
We are going to go with Zelda.
Oh, right. A bit of a hint as to what's to come in this episode. But yes, sure, Zelda. Z or Z, as some might say. ELDA. I should mention, by the way, I actually had a listener help me with the hunt last week. The listener is Pamela, and she offered to help make some hunts for us. So thank you very much, Pamela. She's also someone that's been doing the hunts. She didn't do the hunt this week because she helped design it, but she's been getting into the hunt. She bought some treasure hunt token. Now she's helping me design some hunts as well. Speaking of which,
that's awesome.
Yes, it is very awesome. I was very happy. She's a very nice lady, Pamela. She said, I've heard you've got a few kids. Can I take something off your plate? I was like, sure, you can definitely help me. But Pamela went and bought some treasure hunt tokens. So again, if you want to be like Pamela, which you should, we have a video up at how to swap for T-Hunt on our There's Treasure Inside Edition YouTube page. So go on YouTube, search for There's Treasure Inside Edition, find our page, and there's a video right there on how to swap for T-Hunt. You'll need to download a MetaMask wallet first, but it's very easy, I promise you. Now, that's if you want to do some higher level hunts, or if you just really love listening to us and you want to give us a tip of some sort, that's how you can support the show. Go buy some treasure hunt tokens.
I kind of feel like we should make the code be like Pam instead of Zelda.
Oh, we're going to change it. Look at this. A switch up halfway through the episode. So,
little switcheroo. Be like Pam.
Pamela may not like to be called Pam, but let's assume she may. So, be like Pam, one word. I don't need to spell that, do I? BELIKEPAM. We switched it up. So, for all the people who only listened for a few minutes for the code, they're in for a treat. It won't work.
Got him.
Zing. Okay, so there's a few theories we need to go through this week. As promised, we were going to go back through some of the forums to see if there's any theories that we've missed throughout these episodes of the show. And we've come up with a few this week. So it's a little walk down memory lane over the last 2-3 months or so to see what the community has been talking about. And we have 2 for you tonight. One from me, one from you. Who wants to go first, me or you?
I feel like we should flip a coin.
Okay.
And I'm going to do it. But you got to call heads or tails.
Okay. Let me know when it's in the air.
And you're just going to have to trust me.
Okay.
All right. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Heads.
Tails.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
Way to put myself in the hot seat. So I found a link with Zelda and the 4 small boxes. Link, happy pun unintended. So these originally started as a buy or sell for us to do, but I'm just going to tell you I'm buying. I don't know at the end, you're gonna have to tell me if you're buying or selling.
Okay. I
Okay,
can still buy or sell.
true. For the past and future box, which I know is your favorite,
Yes.
there's lots of Ready Player One Easter eggs that have to do with Zelda. Halliday had a poster of Zelda in his childhood room. There was a link between Hyrule and the War Room and everything being listed on the whiteboard in Ready Player One.
Okay.
And then the Zelda, I believe it was Ocarina of Time, Link first jumps ahead in time to his adult body, then later travels back to his childhood body, not the time where he started.
Wait, so this is a past and future,
Yeah,
back and forth, right?
yeah. He starts in one world at one point in time. He jumps ahead to his adult life, and then he jumps backwards into another timeline of his childhood. So you've got the past and the future.
Okay, well, I had to Google this. I still don't know what you mean by pun intended for Link.
Because the Legend of Zelda, Zelda's the princess and Link is the main character.
Okay, well, for those of us who have never partaken in Zelda, that helps us out a lot.
I'm feeling pretty nerdy for knowing that one, even though I'm not like Zelda nerds, so like are on a different level.
Okay, keep going.
The Appalachian footpath box. We've got the triangles and the Triforce.
Okay.
Obviously, there is a similarity in the map of Hyrule and the Appalachian footpath box. But Zelda is very age appropriate for JCB, and this chapter has an overarching theme of childhood.
Okay.
Then, third, I'm actually going to skip ahead to the fourth because I think the Pokemon box, which I never talk about, is the real catch
Oh.
on this. So, for the Forest Fin box, he talks a lot about his time in Japan, and Zelda had a Japanese creator, which we'll get more into when I talk about Pokemon here in a second. The entire inspiration behind Zelda was from the creator's time adventuring in the woods as a child. That's where he got the ideas for Zelda.
Okay.
Okay, so Pokemon box. You're going to like this one. The creator of Zelda was a mentor to the creator of Pokemon.
Okay. Right.
Zelda was inspired by the creator's love for outdoors, and Pokemon was inspired by the creator's love of playing outdoors and collecting bugs.
Yes, I remember that.
So, there's that. So, are you buying or selling that there could be a greater Zelda connection?
I'm renting it.
Renting
Do
it.
is it a binary choice here? I think I set up this game where it is a binary choice. Now I'm
Yeah,
changing the rules.
exactly.
So I'm renting it because it sounds like it's interesting and deserves further exploration. I guess that's what buying is, right? You're buying the theory.
Yeah.
It deserves more exploration because just those clues by themselves, maybe not quite enough, but it's enough for you to look into each one and maybe you'll find more ties into it. The only thing I'm thinking is he would have to be a real Zelda nerd to make this entire book about Zelda, right? Like, he would have to be at Comic-Con wearing the whole costume, I would assume, if he was this far into it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he would have to be like the penultimate Zelda nerd, which is really the person that we need. So if you're out there, if you're listening, if you are a Zelda person and you want to dive into this further, reach out to us. I'll give you all my notes on it.
Well, I think we'd probably need help from them.
Yeah.
So if you're a Zelda nerd, tell us. If there's other connections you've seen or you can think of, tell us. Come on the show or just give us the notes and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We want to be the breaking news where we solve the theme for it all. I have to tell you though, your Aesop's Fable one for me is still at the top for the connection to all the boxes.
Really? That one was just a little bit of a stumble.
I really like that one still. I like that one, and I like themes for the entire book and all the different boxes. I think that ties together very nicely. So I want the Zelda one to work. I'm currently more entranced by the Aesop's Fables.
Yeah, and I've been dabbling with Beyond the Map's Edge as well, and I've felt like I've found a tie-in to Aesop's Fables as well with that. So maybe it's just I think it was a quote from the Netflix episode 3. I think he says slow and steady wins the race in it, and I was like, "Ah!
Ah.
Aha!"
Well, maybe I'll continue the Aesop's Fables thing. You can continue the Zelda thing. Again, anyone who sees tie-ins to Aesop's Fables and hasn't heard our previous episode, please let us know if you're onto something or if we think we're onto something. Okay, so that's our Zelda connection done, right? Check.
Zelda, check. I wish it was more, but I really, if somebody's gonna have to really dig into that one, because it's a whole world you could dive into. So
Mm.
if John Collins Black wanted to tie Zelda into the whole thing, like if he was a huge Zelda nerd and really wanted to do it, he absolutely could.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I've actually got some anime tie-ins with my one as well. Now,
Mm.
you're an original theorist. You've come up with your own theories. I'm ripping these off other people, but I am going to quote them and give them credit for it as well. So again, I wanted to look back and see if there's any theories that we missed. And I did see people talking about a Montana solve for the past and future box. And I never got to the bottom of what they were talking about. So I spent some time looking back to see what they were talking about. So this week, I looked at the Mysterious Writings Discord channel. And that particular channel has been around for many, many years. So it's very well established, very well respected.
That was like the OG channel for the Forest Fin hunt, wasn't it?
I believe so. It was around well before the Forest Fen Hunt, I believe, as well. Maybe even decades, I think. Uh, the user that first brought up this theory was named Pivot322. See, I'm giving credit. This was not my theory. I'm saying that in case you don't like it, and then I can blame someone else. But Montana. So, the US state, right? Montana, we're on the same page, right? Okay, so in the word search, funny enough, we're going to talk about the word search again. The word sapphire is very prominently placed into the word search. Okay, now the Sapphire Mountains are in Montana. That's one thing. And
Yes.
actually, Montana is the only US state that mines sapphires. Okay, so that's a
Mm.
start there. Um, now we get to the anime part. There was an anime called Montana Jones. Now, you could go down a rabbit hole with just any old anime, like any Japanese anime. This is an Italian Japanese anime. Very specific. Okay? What this anime is about is Japanese anime, and they have a cast of treasure hunters traveling the world to solve clues and find lost artifacts. Okay, so we're getting in the realm. Okay, it was in the 90s, not quite 80s, but we're in the realm of where John Collins Black may have been, he may have gotten into it. And remember, as you mentioned in your solve there, John Collins Black has very strong ties to Japan. So it's very well possible if he's very into Japan, he could very well be into a treasure hunting anime from Japan and Italy. Okay, how are we doing so far?
I'm renting again.
Okay, wait a sec. I haven't finished yet. Okay. All right. Another word that is in the word search that stands out, and it's only 5 letters long, so it could be a coincidence, just random letters put together. But the word in the word search that no one's really come up with anything yet is the word Crete. Crete. When I first saw that, I thought, obviously, Crete, Greece. But I was thinking, what does that have to do with anything? I kind of threw it to the side. In episode 29 of Montana Jones, the characters travel to Crete to navigate the labyrinth of King Minos, solving puzzles to find treasure. Okay?
I'm really hoping that there's something to do with the labyrinth of King What's His Nuts in Montana.
Minos. There's no labyrinth of King Minos. Or is there? Have we just not found it yet? Has he made a labyrinth
King
in
Minos,
Montana?
Montana.
That
Googling.
that we have to go find. I did start thinking, wait a second, Ready Player One. He found this hidden, and I thought it was labyrinth, and I remember no, it was a dungeon. For the very first clue that he found in Ready Player One, he had to go find this hidden dungeon, maze, maybe not labyrinth, but pretty close. And then I started going down that path of, is this the reference to Ready Player One we're talking about? Okay, there's more. Okay, I haven't finished yet, but there's more.
Hit me.
Okay, another word in the word search that shows up again very prominently, I believe in the last line, is the word zero. And do you know who the main villain is on Montana Jones? Lord Zero.
Mm.
So we're getting closer here.
Closer.
So there's sapphires in Montana. There's some rock to field clues, but to be honest, pretty much anyone could come up with a rock to field clue in any state. Gem Mountain, Sapphire Mountain, they only mine sapphires. They went to Crete. Crete's in the word search looking for treasure. There we're at it. Are you still renting or have we upgraded to a buy?
I'll buy. It's worth looking into. I will give you as much credit as you gave me. I think our minds work very differently when it comes to these things. So I think that's what makes it interesting is that we take very different perspectives. If we were just agreeing with each other all the time, that'd be really boring.
Well, we just bought each other's theory, so we're thinking somewhat the same. Unless you're just being nice.
I'm kind of just being nice. I'm just kidding.
So I guess your criticism of this theory may be that there's a number of words in the word search. You're picking out a couple and making some tenuous ties to a theme, right?
Right. It takes you to Crete. It doesn't take you to Montana. The only link to Montana is the sapphire thing.
No, it's Montana Jones is the anime. So in Montana Jones, the show, they go to Crete and look for treasure.
Where are they from?
Where are they from originally? I don't. I've not watched the show before.
Like Montana Jones.
Has the word
I'm
Montana in
Googling.
it?
Yeah, but Indiana Jones has the word Indiana and it doesn't mean he's from Indiana.
Well, here we go. You solve Indiana.
Okay, so here we are. Montana Jones could just be a play off of Indiana Jones, right?
It is actually. It's based off Indiana Jones, but they call it
Okay,
Montana Jones.
but they're Italian
But I will tell you too, when I was looking into this, I saw Labyrinth and I thought, wait a second.
with David Bowie.
Exactly. I thought, wait a second, Labyrinth. I watched Labyrinth as a kid. Scares the crap out of you as a kid, by the way. That is marketed as a kid's movie. Have you watched Labyrinth before?
I haven't, but just looking at the cover of it right now, David Bowie's haircut is terrifying, so.
In the beginning, a baby gets stolen. There's this weird storm and monsters are taken. It's actually a really scary movie. I can't believe I watched it as a kid. But they go through this labyrinth and David Bowie, as well, like you said, is the main villain. Surely Mr. John Collins Black has a connection to David Bowie. It's a 1980s movie. So I'm going to spend some more time looking into Labyrinth and see if there's a connection to the Past and Future box.
And Labyrinth is kind of like one of those cult classic movies, too. It's like The Princess Bride. People just glom onto it for some reason, just because, I guess it's because it's very unique and theatrical and one of a kind, they would say. Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted by our community. If you think or you already know about anything about Labyrinth, you could even message me. I'll keep it a secret and not tell it on the show, but we could talk about that as well. Because I think that is a connection he would have made, is Labyrinth with the Past and Future box.
All right, so we talked about Zelda and we talked about the Past and Future Montana solve. If anybody has leads on those, starts biting into those, has already thought of these, feel free to reach out to us, come on the show, talk about it, be vague, be specific, do whatever you want. But most importantly, just make me and Chaz feel like we're not crazy and that we might actually be onto something.
Yes, that's great. And we have a guest lined up to come on the show as well, another listener who wants to come on the show. So I'm very excited about that. Next weekend, though, maybe I'll see if Mysterious Max can get together for a podcast as well. We'll get him on the next episode. He needs to be dragged back.
Where has he been?
I'm not sure. I'll have to find out. He's probably hiding somewhere. But thank you, everyone, for listening again this week. Again, if you have any questions about the show or about how to buy treasure hunt tokens, email us at thisTreasureInsideEdition@gmail.com. So everyone, speak to you soon when we can record again, but please keep on hunting, down with normies, and let us know if you've got any hints over the next week or so. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Happy hunting.